Hello, my name's Lisa Richey. I am a social worker at Kent County Council working in an adult social care community team. I'm also a research and training fellow for Kent Research Partnership, and I'm really excited to tell you all about my fellowship. I am working in an adult social care team. I've been in health and social care now for 14 years, starting when I was 16 in a day service. And then I moved on to nursing. I worked in residential for a little bit and supported living. Most of my work has been with individuals who have unpredictable or behaviour that might challenge. So some learning disabilities, some mental health. Becoming a social worker was the next development step on a health and social care journey, and I began as a case officer at Kent County Council in 2021. And then I became a registered social worker after finishing my master's in 2022. I was in a learning disability team, and now I'm in a community team that supports people with learning disabilities, physical disabilities, and older persons and mental health. I've got quite a broad experience and knowledge background. I am currently a continuing healthcare champion, and I'm also a neurodiversity champion at Kent County Council. My interest in social care research has been over the course of my time in health and social care, particularly when I was completing my degrees in my undergraduate degree and most particularly in my master's degree for social work. I really wanted to complete something in neurodiversity and neurodivergence, particularly around social workers or healthcare workers, but unfortunately at the time that research just was not available, and because I was on a master's degree and there were deadlines, I wasn't able to complete my own sort of primary research, which is what I really wanted to do. So when this fellowship came up and there was options to apply, I made sure that I put in an application. Let me tell you a little bit about my fellowship journey so far. The initial application stage was really supportive and helpful. My supervisor supported me with thinking laterally about what I needed to add in to my application to make it successful. What I'm currently doing and what this fellowship has allowed me to do is to develop my research skills. So I hadn't done any research or done any ethics or applied for any ethics before or during or since my undergraduate degree and my master's degree, so that was quite a long time, and those things I had somewhat forgotten. So it was great to be able to apply for training and be able to develop my interviewing skills and develop my qualitative data analysis skills and be able to go to conferences and see how other researchers are able to present their research in a way that's interesting and dynamic and makes you want to really be involved in that research and hear what that person has to say. And one of the good things about this fellowship is that it's close-knit, and I've been able to work really closely with my supervisor, who has a wealth of knowledge to offer and has always been resourceful and helpful. And if she doesn't know the answer, somebody else in Kent Research Partnership does, which is absolutely amazing. The conferences I've attended, I've met so many wonderful academic researchers and student researchers as well. I've also, so when I attended them, I attended the National Institute in Birmingham and also the British Association of Social Work conference in Edinburgh. and that was a really great experience, and it was great to network with other researchers in neurodivergence. My research project is all about social workers and their neurodivergent characteristics. It's a it's a very personal piece of research because of my own diagnosis. But what I am doing is I've had ethics, governance, and agreed ethics from the University of Kent to source participants who are neurodiverse and in social work roles to be able to interview them about their opinions, their experiences, and how they found their working career and how they've developed as a social worker. Alternatively, what the reasons were that maybe they left social work or took a break, or where they've basically ended up. It's really important to consider what the reasons are that people who are neurodivergent may have chosen to leave social work, because once we know those reasons, we can then put things in place to make the working role easier. This research primary focus is on the social workers, so the workforce in social work, rather than the people that we support. There's a lot of research available to support our people that we support in the communities, but there's not a lot on the workforce. So it's really important that that research is out there, and I'm really happy to be completing it. My project with Kent Research Partnership is something that's really, really close to myself. As a neurodivergent person with a diagnosis of ADHD and autism, I really want to support my colleagues in their workplace, particularly newly qualified social workers, and I want to bring resources and awareness and interest in how to support social workers who have neurodivergent characteristics. It's really important to me that those resources are readily available and that people are aware of them and how to support people, because it increases retention, and people, when they're happy, they stay in their working roles, which naturally supports our people that we support in the communities. So my title of my research project is Supporting Social Workers in Neurodiversity, a qualitative investigation into social work manager roles. So I have been given successful ethics and guidance to complete a research project that includes 5 current neurodiverse social workers, 5 former neurodiverse social workers, and 5 social work managers. The reason that I wanted to include social work managers into my research is because they play a fundamental role in supporting neurodiverse social workers in their working role per day, per week, per year. Their leadership and their abilities and their awareness and understanding directly impacts not only social workers but their role as a whole managing a team. Where I am currently in this research project is I have successfully applied for ethics governance in order to start my interviews. I was successful with research governance at Kent County Council and with applying for ethics at the University of Kent. That was a very challenging experience to include everything that needed to be included, but otherwise a very positive learning experience. Also, where I am currently, so as of this week, is I have recruited participants, so the social workers who have neurodiversity and managers who are supporting those with neurodiversity and neurodivergent characteristics. I am interviewing them, I'm learning from their experiences and their views and how they think their roles have gone. The interviews have been really amazing. I've met so many amazing individuals who are so proud to talk about their role and their neurodiversity and neurodivergence and how it impacts their role and how they would want to see the world and how they would want things to change to make their role easier. In terms of my current findings and basically my preliminary findings, I found that some of the social workers that have left their roles with is because of the lack of support available to assist them with their neurodiversity or neurodivergence, and it made their current role untenable. They've moved on to other roles in which there was support from maybe outside, so access to work, technology that was put in place, a robust supervision, and reasonable adjustments were made to their role for them to have, say, 4 cases allocated at the start of the month rather than drip fed through the month. I have had some challenges within this fellowship. Completing the role part-time is always going to be a balancing act. Balancing a busy caseload and a busy community team with the fellowship has meant that I have developed really strong boundaries between completing my fellowship and working in a community team, which is a really useful skill. Unfortunately, I did have some health complications which have made the fellowship take a little longer and than maybe I would initially have hoped. But I have been very, very lucky in that Kent Research Partnership has been so supportive and so kind in helping me to get to recovery and also being able to continue with my fellowship. But it has been a very positive experience because I've met so many amazing people and so many amazing researchers who have supported me throughout. This fellowship has supported me and my career to become more confident and build my self-esteem so that I can realise potential and be able to develop the skills that I've learned on this fellowship, and also be able to continue strengthening my knowledge around neurodivergent social work and potentially in the future creating further research in this area. Another really positive outcome of the Kent Research Partnership and completing this fellowship has been realising my potential. I did not think that I could ever be an academic researcher, and I didn't think that I would ever have my own project and be able to research something that so closely reflects my own diagnosis and be able to impact my own career. I would love a long social work career, but I would also love to develop this research into something bigger and greater. I would love to engage in a PhD and really go into depth on what support and what awareness we can make for those social workers with neurodivergent characteristics. I've been really supported and I've had such pleasant interactions with the lived experience group, who are a lovely bunch of people, and also the PhD group, who have really supported with honing those presentation skills and practicing and making me more confident and a better version of myself and making sure that I don't waffle too much. It has been a really important fellowship for me because it's able to see my potential and see what I am capable of and see what I can do to support those in social work and making developments and moving forward. I am clearly passionate about neurodivergence within social work. My fellowship has impacted my career and my life really well and has made a positive difference. If there is a development or a change that you want to see in adult social care, then look around for those research opportunities because the change doesn't happen unless you make the change. The change impacts yourself, your workforce, your colleagues, your service users, and your providers. Make the change that you want to see.